Rhody Wrestling Recap, Episode 9. Let's get into it. SmackDown, Raw, and a few other announcements. Okay, let's get into it.
Alright, so, SmackDown starts off with, they start off with a recap between the whole, tag team, the biggest tag team match at WrestleMania, but then once the show actually gets going, we're greeted by Logan Paul coming out, for an announcement, and he, comes out, kind of says, I've had a couple firsts here in WWE in Dallas. His first WrestleMania was the one in Dallas at AT&T Stadium. And tonight, Dallas is going to witness history or whatever. Which, I mean, in a way it is what it was.
For
sure. So he kind of goes on, saying this is his moment. He's a conqueror. That's what he is. And he joined the WWE to take over. So, it's then unveiled that the WWE and Prime have partnered up, and Prime is now an in-ring sponsor of the WWE.
Yes, sir. I feel like it's very distracting. At first, it's going to be very distracting. It looks kind of weird. As you said in our first take, this is take number 2. As you said in our first take, you said you wished it was just the Prime logo.
The Prime lettering. Yeah.
And I agree with that 100%. I don't feel like they needed the entire bottle there. Like, why did they do that?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be one of those things. It's like, at first, it's all we're going to see.
Yeah, like, for sure.
We're just going to continuously look at it. But then, over time, I think it's just going to start to feel normal. Now, it is also only going to be PLEs. It's not an everyday in-ring feature.
Thank God.
Which makes sense if you really think about it, because the most eyes are on your PLEs. Like, yeah, you're going to have your normal fans watching your Raws, your SmackDowns, but you probably have more eyes than ever, watching your PLEs, all because it's all of that product into one.
For sure.
Where, I'm sure there's people like us that think, Raw sucks, so they just don't watch.
Yep.
So you're not getting eyes on your product.
Yep, for
PLEs,
sure.
everyone is going to watch. So, so that happened. Then he brings KSI out, because, KSI is his business partner, even though they used to fucking hate each other. They went into business together, which also pissed off Logan's brother, but everything pisses him off. So, be real. Brings KSI out, pretty cool moment to see that he's there, and then when he comes out, the fans actually broke out into a USA chant, which I thought was funny, because obviously KSI being England. And then Randy...
What just happened?
What the fuck happened? Hello? Whoa. Good? Alright, I think Discord just, froze for a second there.
What the hell was that?
I don't know. Because you froze on here. You froze for me, too, so. Anyway. Then Randy Orton's music hits. They both turn to the ramp to wait for Randy to come out. He comes out from... We're assuming under the ring.
I'm pretty sure he was under the ring.
Tries to RKO Logan Paul. Logan manages to escape and leaving KSI in the ring on his own, and you can just kind of see KSI standing there, and he's like, oh, no. he knows what's about to happen. Like, he gets RKO'd, and he actually took the RKO pretty well. Like, he took it like a champ.
Yes,
he didn't really seem to, fuck it up. He didn't mess anything up, and he just took it clean. And he sold it pretty well.
Yeah, I like the way he sold it. He sold it like a vet.
Yeah. And then Randy Orton takes the bottle, sips it. He's like, hey, this is pretty good. And then pours it on KSI's crotch. And then it went to commercial from there. And then that's when they come back. We get the Kevin Owens, Randy Orton versus Theory and I almost said Waller. Don't really remember a ton of that match, although I do remember kind of the ending of Theory and Waller overselling it. Well, not overselling, because, that's kind of... I feel like one of the things that they're known for is selling really well, kind of like Ziggler used to do.
The GOAT.
And Theory not Theory. Orton and Owens had won. And if they are building a tag team with the two of them, you kind of pointed it out afterwards that they kind of already have a perfect team name.
RKO.
Yeah. I pointed this out in our first take. They kind of seem to really like pointing out or using the RKO when Randy Orton is in a tag team. Because, like, they've had RK Bro,
Rated RKO.
Rated RKO. I mean, Randy hasn't really been in that many tag teams, but I mean, yeah, there was Legacy, but there's no RKO there, so that's not fun. But yeah, so Owens and Orton pick up the win there. Let's see, goes to commercial. They come back, and then they start going into the Damage Control and Bayley feud that's been going on the last couple of weeks. Bayley had a backstage interview with Kayla where, she kind of said, this is... Damage Control was everything she had. And now she's kind of on her own, and Dakota and the rest of them kind of, like, turn their backs. And, now she's made a lot of enemies, but, again, was trying to help Damage Control just get to the top. And she thought that's what she was doing, and now it's backfiring.
I kind of miss Face Bayley.
Yeah, I would die if she comes out at WrestleMania with her old
That would be
gimmick.
Sick. That would be
sick.
Inflatable arm dudes.
And the music and the ring. Yo, I would die. Like, in the fucking ponytails and shit. Yo, that'd be crazy.
I would shit myself. I would be like, let's go!
Cool.
But heel Bayley was also really good. I love what she's done.
Sure. Oh, absolutely. Heel Bayley's goated, too.
Yeah, for sure.
Her character has been really developed well. But that's something we've kind of seen is, like, really good character development these last couple of years.
Under Triple H.
Under Triple H, since there's been a change in leadership. Triple H being that guy that's done it for so long, and he knows how things work and the way things should go and how he wants things to go. But there was also a thing that came out that said, like, at least for the broadcasters, so I'm assuming this probably translates to all talent, but, for them, Corey Graves had said his headset is as quiet as it's ever been. Because Vince used to be in their ears all the time.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Triple H probably says a thing here or there, but other than that, they're allowed to run with it.
Yeah.
Trust me, I mean, with the things that Pat McAfee says on Raw half the time, there's no way Triple H tells him to say that. Pat McAfee be fucking wilding on Raw. It's the funniest shit ever, but he gets a little wild.
On Monday, he said, "I'm yeeting all over myself."
Yeah, that was something else. Or when Valhalla put the horns on Cole, he had said something. He had made some jokes about the same concept, pretty much.
Yeah.
But, anyways, back to Bayley. Then it had cut to Naomi watching the Bayley interview when Bianca comes in and starts shitting on Bayley. And I not that this matters much because she's not part of them, she's not part of the storyline or anything, but you still have to remember who Naomi is, who she's related to, who her family is. So I've always said, like, you gotta be careful how you talk to her.
For sure.
Because she is a Fatu. Like,
I'm surprised they haven't had
I wish
any
they would.
female.
I wish they would so bad. Naomi would fit in perfect. Like, if she just, like, dyes, instead of the green, does the red, like, perfect.
They could have her, they could have Nia Jax.
Stop it.
Nia Jax is The Rock's cousin.
Stop it. I know. But she doesn't belong in WWE.
Okay, bro.
That bitch is so untalented and so ugly, and, bro, she's like the real version of the thing. You know those videos that you see in, like, that are like 2 frames per second of Bigfoot walking? It looks like her.
Okay, bro.
Could just be her walking in the forest.
That's fucked.
Yeah, all good. Someone's got to be funny here. Anyway, so yeah, Bianca comes in and starts shitting on Bayley, and, you know, how she deserves this, and, you know, all that good stuff. And then Bianca just says good luck and heads off. And then we get the Bobby Lashley Karrion Kross match, which ended in a not a no contest, disqualification, because AOP ended up getting involved, which then you know, led to pretty much an all-out brawl, because Street Profits ended up coming out too, and, you know, eventually AOP and Karrion Kross kick their asses and kind of not run for the hills, but they do end up leaving the ring.
Pussies.
Well, I mean, they did what they had to do. They kicked their asses and left.
I hate them. They're so boring.
I don't. I love the Final Testament. They give me, like, Shield vibes.
They're so boring.
In a way, because they haven't really had a lot of story development.
And they're doing the same thing that they did with Braun Strowman with AOP. They're putting them against fucking no-name talent to make them look big. And it's not working.
Well,
in my opinion.
That's what you do with everyone that just comes to the roster. Like, look at Braun Breaker. Who the hell has he faced since he's been on the main roster?
No one.
Exactly. But Braun has also been one of the most hyped talents I think we've had in years.
For sure.
Oh. And I mean, he beat his last opponent in, what, 8.2 seconds? But there was also some restrictions to the show that night, because, you know, a certain segment wanted to go 45 minutes.
Thank you, Rock. That segment was crazy, though. That was one of the...
It was.
That was one of the better Bloodline segments, for sure.
And that's why they saved it for the end of SmackDown this time and only gave them, like, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But we'll get into that. And then it goes into the whole LWO Legado del Fantasma. I just cracked my finger. Storyline. And they had showed Rey Mysterio returning during the Carlito Santos match. And all that.
And then they cut to... What's that guy's name? Dragon Lee.
Dragon Lee. He's on the phone. Presumably with Rey. I'm assuming Rey. And then that's when Elektra Lopez comes in. She's like, "Oh, were you talking to Rey?" And then, you know, she pretty much tells him that he looks like a kid that is dressed as Rey for Halloween, which that's kind of fucked up. Like, he's a luchador. Like, that's how they dress. Like, that's their ring gear. Like, yeah, obviously there's some that don't do it, like Santos and all the rest of them. Like, yes, they're all luchadors as well, but, like, that's kind of like the traditionary, like, ring gear.
Yeah, for sure.
Mask, shorts.
That was pretty funny, though.
It was, in a way. Because he also is small and he does look young, so it was funny in a way. But yeah, so then the rest of that stupid faction that I can't stand comes in and Santos pretty much says how Ray and the LWO are in the past. You know, Legado del Fantasma is the future, the present. Pretty much calls Dragon Lee nothing. And then they start to fight, but they end up knocking Dragon Lee down. And that was kind of that. And then they came back from commercial. We got the inductees for the Hall of Fame, which are Paul Heyman, Bull Nakano, and the U.S. Express, which is made up of Bray Wyatt's father and Bray Wyatt's uncle. So, there's one spot open. Hasn't been... and Muhammad Ali is going to the Hall of Fame. There's still one more spot. It has not been, announced who it's going to be. I was talking about this on our first take. I think it'd be really cool if you see, the U.S. Express get inducted, and then at the end of their speech, they say, we're inducting Bray Wyatt. Oh, shit.
What happened?
My laptop's about to die. Keep talking.
Alright, so pretty much I'm hoping that they don't announce anyone for that spot, so what you said can fully
yeah.
What am I saying?
So what I said can't happen, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. So I'm really hoping Bray Wyatt gets inducted this year.
Absolutely deserved. Obviously career is a little way too short. Ton of potential, but just we didn't get to really see it play out.
One of the best character workers. One of the best character workers in all of WWE history.
Mm-hmm. Was clearly a super creative man.
Yes.
All the characters he went through and all the things that he was able to develop. It just sucks to see that his last match in his career was a pointless match against, at the time, a nobody in LA Knight.
For sure.
Again,
that match was really ass, too.
It really was. And again, I get it. Listen, you want him to look dominant. You want him to squash somebody. You don't want him to squash somebody that's really a name on the main roster. And you didn't know he was going to die.
Yeah.
I hate to say that, but you don't expect that, So yeah, it sucks.
He was so close to making his return too.
Yeah, I think he was weeks away?
Yeah.
And then he died. But I think it was revealed that he was supposed to be wearing something and he just didn't.
What do you mean?
I forget what it was. He was supposed to have something for his heart or whatever, either done, or he was supposed to. I think he was supposed to get a pacemaker, not a pacemaker. I remember there was something he was supposed to be doing, and he just didn't do it.
So he did it to himself.
Kind of. If I do remember correctly, I remember something like that coming out.
Damn.
Which sucks. But
that's so sad.
At the end of the day, a typical man being difficult.
Yep.
And we can make that joke because we're fucking men. Women, don't make that joke. We'll fight you. Actually, we won't fight you because we don't hit women. Anyway. Verbally, we will fight you. Men don't hit women. Anyway. So after that, I just kind of wanted to touch on this. Who the hell is Bull Nakano?
I have no idea.
I've never heard that name in my life, never seen this person. I have no idea. Moving on. Then we get the Tiffany Stratton versus Mishin match.
Mid.
Tiffany Stratton, shut up. Kind of dominated that match. She looked really, really good. And then Mishin was really, honestly, from what I remember, wasn't able to get much going. She tried to go for a Styles Clash, couldn't. Tiffany reversed it, ends up hitting her finisher. Don't even say it. I know I can see it. Don't say it. It was perfect.
She
it looked
fucked
great.
up.
And she won. No, she didn't.
She did fuck up.
we're going to have this 10-minute conversation again.
She fucked up.
She didn't. She fixed her footing.
Which means she fucked up the
all
first
she does
time.
is... Okay, you say all she does is botch, right? But if she would have continued to jump up and do it the way she was going to do it, she was going to botch it, and you never would have let her live it down. But she stops herself, fixes her footing, and hits it beautifully, and yet you're still just on her case about botching.
Because I don't like her.
I don't know why.
All she does is botch.
She does... Bro, she look... How did... You were up with me watching Elimination Chamber. She looked great. She looked great in that match against Mishin. She's looked great.
Nah, I don't know. I don't like her. At all.
I can't with you. I don't understand why.
All the hype is her looks.
No.
Yes.
Is it part of it? Probably, because she's a gorgeous woman. But she is very talented in the ring.
She's alright.
You're alright. Tiffany hits the, what's it called, the prettiest moonsault ever, wins. And then it cuts to AJ Styles cutting a promo somewhere backstage on LA Knight, or talking about LA Knight, and how LA Knight kind of walks around saying how he, owns the place, but AJ doesn't think that LA Knight deserves to be in the same locker room, and that LA Knight kind of stole his momentum, all that momentum that he had built up off of AJ's expense, and that LA Knight is, as he said, overachieving, under-talented, loudmouthed, and desperately in need of humbling. And AJ is the man to do that. And then LA Knight, backstage watching that somewhere else, and takes a chair to the TV that he is watching it on. And
TV Styles.
Just kind of starts going off on the TV like he just hit AJ. But, thought it was a little weird. I was like, what the hell is he doing? But that was that. Oh, sorry.
You good?
I don't know what that was. Yeah. I don't know. That was weird. So then we get another backstage segment. We got a lot of backstage segments that night because hold on.
They kept showing the security in front of the doors.
Yeah. So they had the two teams. So Cody and Seth had shown up to SmackDown. They were in a locker room. The Bloodline was in another, and they had like extended security in front of the locker rooms, and they kept panning to that like between every match and shit, showing like, oh yeah, they added security. Like, ooh. Like these
all
guys
the
would
NXT talent.
future NXT talent, yeah. So then there is a Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne segment, and Bate says he's going to go talk to Nick and get an update on the tag team championship situation that they call because they feel like they got screwed at Elimination Chamber because of Dom. So that's kind of all that was. So then we get the Dragon Lee Angel match. I'm going to admit, I don't remember much from that.
I don't remember that match either.
But we'll just... Dragon Lee wins. That's kind of... But Legado del Fantasma after the match does...
They jumped him,
come
right?
in and... Yeah, they jumped Dragon Lee. The LWO did not come out and save him, so... Kind of wondering if that's going to be something to kind of look at, where was LWO? But you never know.
I mean, Dragon Lee is not part of LWO, so why would they come out?
Oh, is he not? I thought he was.
No, he's not.
I thought he was, like, aligned with them.
Well, he's allies with them, but...
Oh, he's not part of it?
No.
Okay, that makes more sense. I thought he was for some reason.
No, sir.
All right. So.
Kid's over here dying on the mic.
I am for some reason. Anyways, after that, there's a backstage Damage Control promo. And Dakota Kai is obviously the one talking because we can't understand the rest of them. Actually, although I did think they did say things, but they're subtitles. But Dakota pretty much said that she's always been the brain. She's always been the one in control. And then kind of starts to shit on Bayley. And then Dakota challenges Bayley to a match next week, or this upcoming Friday. 2 days from now, because it's already Wednesday.
Because I fucked up my sleep schedule and woke up late yesterday, and woke up late again today.
Yeah, but not as late. We still have plenty of time today.
Yeah, for sure.
And then this is where we finally get to the Bloodline and Cody Seth. Nick goes up to the locker room that Cody and Seth are supposed to be in, and they're not there. And he like knocks, he looks inside, he's like, what the fuck? It's like, where are they? Gary's like, I don't know. So then they all fucking run to the ring. And then they show the ring and Roman and the rest of the Bloodline coming out.
And then we get the coldest entrance ever.
Absolutely.
Ever.
That Rock entrance is insane.
Mwah.
I got chills watching that.
It is insanely good.
Like, and then
for
right
no
at the
reason.
end where there's the big lightning bolt and he's just standing there like, I was like, oh my god. Like, they made him look like a superhero. In a way.
He had that Black Adam fucking entrance.
That movie was kind of buns.
I never saw it.
It's not worth it. It's good, but it ain't.
I mean, I don't like The Rock's acting anyways.
I like him as an actor, but that movie...
Like, some of his movies are okay, but most of them are just really bad.
His attempt at a superhero was not great. He tried. Didn't pan out. That's why there's... right at the end of the movie, I think there was like a teaser, like a Superman teaser, but then now they're not doing anything with it because I think Black Adam is like... I think they're like cutting the cord on Black Adam. So yeah, Roman's music hits. Oh, I already talked about that. What am I doing?
I don't know. He's tired, chat.
Rock comes out, greatest entrance ever. And then, Roman says to the crowd, like, hey, greatness stands before you. And then Roman does the little arm extend thing. They dap up, they hug like boys. And then that's when Cody's music hits.
Adrenaline!
And then they don't come down from the ramp, they come down the stairs. And I also pointed this out yesterday recording this. They didn't come down together. They came down separate stairs. But Seth came down the stairs that the Shield would come down if the Shield were still a thing today. So, I'm just saying, I think they're really painting this narrative that they're saying Seth has his back, but Seth doesn't come down with him. That comes down the stairs of his old faction. Ironically, with the guy that he was in a faction with already in the ring. I'm just saying.
John Moxley return?
No, but I don't think Seth is really there for Cody. I think Seth is going to end up turning on Cody because Cody has Seth's number, and they kind of pointed that out on Raw, so we'll start talking about that when we get to Raw. But yeah, so we get that. So then they come back, and the entire security is like off to the side of the ring with Solo and Jimmy just randomly there. It's like, why is all the security here if you're just gonna stand outside the ring? Like, you'd think they'd be like in the ring in between the four of them.
Yeah,
or whatever,
for sure. That made no sense to me.
Really didn't. So Cody starts talking. He's like, no, it's been tense, but like, let's just kind of feed on this moment for a moment. because the four of them, are probably four of the most over superstars right now, and sold out Dallas, Texas. The crowd was insane, so they were like, let's just feed on this for a minute. And Cody goes on about, he goes to The Rock. He's like, I heard your challenge, heard your stipulations. And then he asks The Rock if he has the authority to make that stipulation because, he did acknowledge Roman Reigns as the tribal chief. And, The Rock says, shut up, boy, and that he acknowledged Roman as his tribal chief because, they're family. That's what they do. They do things for each other. They do things for family. And that's kind of the whole point of their side of the story is, everything is based around our family, our blood. So then The Rock's like, let me read you our stipulations. Night 1, biggest tag team match ever. If we win, Bloodline rules night 2. If you win, free of the Bloodline. And then Seth cuts off The Rock. Will you shut the hell up? Will you shut the hell up already?
We know the stipulations. Blah,
and then
blah,
he
blah.
says, we accept. And
then
Roman
laughed
his ass off.
Laughed at Cody.
He's like, oh, you're just going to let him answer, Lance? You're just going to let him answer for you? You're an idiot. You must be an idiot. You must be from Texas or something, like calling the Texas crowd idiots.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, you're going to let the cross-dresser answer for you? And that led to like 3 days of just backlash on social media because, even though he's been saying that Seth wears his wife's clothes anyway, he finally uses the term for it, and everyone's in an uproar. It's all fake shit. But, and then he says to Cody that this is it. Like, you don't get another shot. This is your shot. So, and then The Rock starts kind of going off on like how he's the boss. He's your boss, or he's their boss. So he's like, Cody, over for you. Starts going off on the both of them, and that he will do everything in his power to make sure that Cody doesn't win and Seth ends up losing his title. And that if Cody doesn't do it at Mania, that's it. Like, you're not getting another shot.
Ever. Not just against Roman.
Yeah. I kind of misunderstood that.
Ever.
That's how I took it. But then the more I was looking at it, it's like he said ever. Like, you will not get another shot. And then how he kind of brings up all their families, like, Roman's grandfather looking down, my grandfather, the High Chief looking down, your father, the American Dream looking down. And then he goes off on Cody and, he's like,
calls him a mistake.
You're the youngest of 3, right? You're 20 years younger than your siblings, right? He's like, that's because you're a mistake. And then Cody slaps The Rock and as for his receipt, and then that's it for SmackDown.
Oh, Travis Scott was also there, so that was pretty cool.
That was Raw.
Was it?
That was Raw. He pulled up with Jay.
Oh yeah, he did. Okay, yeah, that was Raw.
Yep.
They were in Texas for SmackDown and Raw, so I thought it was SmackDown.
Yeah, no, it was Raw. So Raw starts with Drew McIntyre coming out. Well, there was a lot of stuff that kind of started with Raw. They showed Jay pulling up with
Travis Scott.
Jesus, I already forgot his name. I couldn't think of who I was trying to say. Just said it. And then Drew McIntyre comes out, starts going off on Seth Rollins. Calls him a junkie. Calls him selfish. Then starts dumping on CM Punk that, Drew McIntyre, Drew is saying, I'm the only reason you're relevant right now, because he keeps speaking about him.
Yeah.
And Drew kind of goes off on Seth saying, you're more worried about a tag match than you are your own world championship. Like, you're a junkie, you're this, you're that. And then Seth comes out. And then you're gonna have to kind of talk a little more because I was at work and had the volume mad low and didn't really hear the rest of the promo.
I don't remember.
All right, well, I guess I'll just read
Anything.
this summary of it.
About that promo.
So Rollins, I guess, had said that McIntyre has been begging for attention, and then he like begs him to hit him with a claymore. I do remember that.
Yeah.
He's like, you've got my attention now. Like, go ahead, hit me with it. He even gets down on his knees. He's like, hit me with it.
And then
and
he
then
calls him a
Rollins
coward.
Coward, yep. So then, because McIntyre, I think at this point was walking away, and that's when he, or no, not yet. So McIntyre said he was just there to talk. He's not gonna, he wants Seth at WrestleMania. He doesn't want to cost himself a potential like issue or where they take away his title shot because he attacked him or whatever.
Which makes no sense, but whatever.
I mean, it doesn't. It's like, he's like, I want you at WrestleMania. He doesn't want to cost anything. But Rollins somehow turns it into, the tag match has his attention because he wants to take down the Bloodline, which seems to be everybody's obsession, which I don't think you can do. Rollins has kind of like, I feel like Rollins is the new Sami Zayn, right? Thinks he can take down the Bloodline, but what happened to Sami Zayn when he thought he could take down the Bloodline? Got his ass kicked.
He got his shit rocked.
So, I just don't think Rollins is all there headspace-wise. I think he's too worried about himself.
For sure.
He's just in his own head in a way. And he thinks he's an ally with Cody, but like we've said, I don't think he is. Then McIntyre goes to walk away. But then Rollins had said, McIntyre, or he's not paying any attention because Rollins is more worried about what I had just said.
He said that McIntyre was the lowest step on his ladder of threats.
Which is kind of crazy because Drew McIntyre is probably going to absolutely kick his ass at WrestleMania.
For sure.
I don't think Seth is any competition to Drew McIntyre.
Seth is going to take a break after Mania.
Yeah, for sure. So McIntyre goes to turn around, but doesn't do anything and walks away. Then we get the Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan match. This is due to the last couple of weeks being interference from both sides. Liv was facing Nia, and Becky got involved because Becky's had that rivalry with Nia. So then Becky was facing Nia, and Liv got involved. She's like, oh, how do you like it? So then we finally got that match. Don't really remember seeing a lot of it, but Becky had ended up winning. Although I do remember Liv Morgan looking great during that match, and
for sure,
I think having a couple of near falls even. But gotta put over Becky Lynch. So.
She hit the Oblivion, which would have ended the match, but Becky Lynch rolled under the ropes and
that's
escaped.
Right. Yeah, I remember they kept rolling under the ropes to get away.
Yeah.
So Becky ends up winning. Morgan goes to leave. Rhea Ripley comes out. And then they kind of get Liv Morgan out of there. So Ripley I guess she congratulates Lynch. Or Becky asks if it was all worth it. Every week she's putting her body on the line, but yet she's supposed to be on the road to WrestleMania. She's got a world title shot at WrestleMania, and she knows that deep down that Becky knows that Ripley is the better competitor. And just going to look for excuses for when she loses at WrestleMania, just like Cody is, because we'll talk about that. But, or at least what I think, anyway. So So yeah, that kind of just happened. And then there is the announcement of for the tag team titles. There's going to be a 6-pack ladder match for the undisputed tag team titles, which I think we're going to see 2 champions walk away.
I was hoping they would just split it.
They will. I think they will, because I think, you got to think that Awesome Truth is going to be in this, and I did kind of see this, so I thought of it. What the hell is that? I don't know what the hell that was. But anyway, I think
Awesome Truth is going to walk away with the Raw titles, and
yeah, I think you're going to see Truth climb the ladder. He's going to grab one, think they've won.
Maybe Street Profits walk away with the SmackDown titles.
That'd be cool. Street Profits, the tag champs on SmackDown. I'm also kind of hoping that, like, now once these tag titles are split, they like give them new titles, because I'm over these red and blue tag titles with the fucking silver plastic plated nickel looking shits. But Finn and Damien were not happy about this, so they go to Nick and Adam, and they had said that it was Awesome Truth's idea. Which I thought was funny. So they're like, "Oh, you're really gonna let these guys give you advice?" I
don't remember that.
That had happened. I do think that it is going to be an exciting match, and depending on the night, could carry that night of WrestleMania. Depending on, again, if it's night 1, could carry night 1.
You don't think the tag team carries night 1?
Well, no, it will, but
you're
it's
fucking wild.
No, So, yes, that tag team match is obviously probably going to main event night 1 and all that, but aside from just that match, because we're going to get like 6-7 matches night 1, or both nights anyway, I think this match has the potential to be the number 2 rated match, or the second most enjoyed match
for sure,
next to that. Then we get the Ivy Nile and Maxine Dupree versus Indy and Candice. Candice is a bitch, by the way.
For sure.
With what she said, like, first of all, that's fucked.
That was pretty fucked.
Called her an embarrassment. She was like, "Oh, you wonder why everyone boos you, why, what do you think all the women in the locker room think of you?" And then she was like, "You're lucky your dead brother's not here to see this, because he'd be embarrassed." And it's like, the fuck was that for? So then she's like, "You know what, I'm not doing this, I'm leaving." And then Indy Hartwell just kicks her in the side of the head and pins her. I was like, what the fuck was that for? Like, you're not gonna be a bitch.
So we got heel Candice finally.
It's like, okay, like, that was pointless. So then we get to we have an in-ring segment between Cole and Cody, just to kind of ask a couple questions. But then Cole had asked Rhodes, "Oh, what do you want to talk about?" So Cole starts by saying that The Rock has made it clear that, The Rock is the boss, and that if Cody loses, he won't get another shot. And, he asks him, why would you agree to everything? And he's like, well, and then he asks why he slapped his boss. He's like, sometimes it just feels good to slap your boss. And that it was a receipt. So then that's when Cole asks, why would you agree to this tag match on night 1? And then Cole kind of just insinuates that, Rollins, why would you trust Rollins? you know, when Rollins has said he wants to be the top dog, the number one guy, Rhodes kind of says, you know, people change, you know, he's done these things, he's, you know, smashed the throne, but then the guy that sits on that throne is one of his most trusted, you know, work allies, as he called him. But then Cody's like, I wanna answer a question that you asked me before, and then you showed, you know, the Cole asking him if his loss to Roman Reigns will be his story, and if that's when, you know, Cody's like, you know, am I nervous? Am I afraid? Yes, I'm nervous. Yes, I'd be stupid to say I'm not afraid. And this is where now he starts to change his story. He starts to change his narrative, you know, because when he loses, he needs that excuse. Because, you know, his story was taking down the bloodline. The bloodline's not going anywhere, clearly.
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I don't know.
You just don't know?
I don't know. I feel like Cody's gonna fucking win at Mania.
I don't. I've lost any idea of that. So Cody starts going on about how, you know, he's not, like, this is for this person and this person and this person, my sister, my brother, my mom. You know, I may not be able to hand the title to the American Dream or to Dusty, but he's like, I can hand it to whatever her name, Michelle something, or Michaela something, or whatever the hell does it say here? Or he just says his mother. I don't remember her name. And again, I think this is him changing changing the story, changing the narrative, so that way when he loses, you know, he doesn't have to say he failed to take down the bloodline, he failed to take everything from Roman, you know, he let his family down. You know, he didn't get, you know, so he doesn't have to say that he's failed everything he's in the WWE to do.
I guess.
That's how I looked at it. And then he starts to cry. So I posted something on Twitter. I was like, oh, look at Cody being on, and I was like, wait for it, crybaby. You know, the whole Cody crybaby things. But yeah, so I just think that is Cody changing his story, changing his narrative, so that when he does lose at WrestleMania, he doesn't have to say he failed to take down the bloodline. He failed to take down Roman Reigns.
I'm so split.
I'm not.
I want Roman to win, but I want Cody to win.
As you can see.
I just want Cody to win to finish his story, so we can stop hearing about it.
I thought we were off this. Like, what happened?
Did you not just hear me?
I did.
I just want him to win so we can stop hearing about it.
But here's my thing. Let's say he wins, then what?
Then we stop hearing about it.
But him winning the title is all about him finishing the story. Let's say he wins. Finishes the story, now what?
Nothing.
Exactly. What's the point? What's the point? No one's gonna give a shit.
Did you see the thing I sent you on Twitter?
There's no story to him with the title. He just wants to finish the story. Which he just fucking changed on Raw. He just completely changed his story. Or the story.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I just want to stop hearing about the story because it's very annoying.
Oh, you will. You will after WrestleMania, no matter what.
It's so annoying.
Oh, it is. And I hate how the WWE has revolved everything around the story. Like, everybody has a story now. It's like, oh my god. The whole WWE 2K24 trailer, it's all about completing your story, or like, you know, this is my story. And you had a couple superstars saying, you know, this is my story. This is like, can we not do this? Like, we do not need to revolve everything around one person.
I'm gonna make a bold prediction of the 2K cover just cause for next year. I'm gonna say CM Punk. Anyways, continue.
Has Roman had a cover since
20?
He was on the cover of 20?
Yeah, with Becky Lynch.
Oh. I would kill to see a Bloodline cover, like for a deluxe edition or something.
For sure, that would be crazy. In the showcase mode is the Bloodline mode. Oh, mwah.
I would love to see like a Bloodline showcase, or like or like if they. I remember they used to have like 2 or 3 showcases sometimes when the game would come out. If they did like a Shield, like if Roman was on the cover, they do like a Shield showcase and a Bloodline showcase.
They wouldn't do that though, because Jon Moxley.
Oh yeah, I didn't think of that. He'd have to come back to WWE. Yeah, you're right. I didn't think of that.
I do want a CM Punk showcase though. That would be sick.
Yeah, but there's not a. I feel like there wouldn't be a lot to it. I feel like it'd be very short.
Just give me Punk and Cena at Money in the Bank and I'll be happy.
Like you'd have that. You'd probably have the Punk and Hardy cage match on Loser Leaves or whatever.
Yeah.
You'd probably have some Punk ECW matches. And then I guess you'd have
Undertaker
like
and Punk.
You'd probably have Undertaker, Punk. Yeah, I forgot all about that. And then it's like, what do you have after that? Like, it took like 2 or 3 months for Punk to come back and actually have a match.
And then he got injured in his first match back.
Yeah, he came back, he fought, and he got hurt.
Fucking guy.
So, I don't really see the potential for a CM Punk showcase. But anyway, back to Raw. Another backstage segment. What do you know? Liv and Becky decide to kind of hug it out in a way. Becky extends the hand. Liv is like, all right. And then they get attacked by Nia Jax. You know, the ogre-looking motherfucker.
What are you doing in me swamp?
Oh, shit. So then we get the Women's Tag Team Championship match, which is the Kabuki Warriors with Dakota and Io at their side versus Zoe and Shayna. Kabuki Warriors win this. Then they pan to Io Sky outside the ring, kind of holding her title up like this. But then the face she has looks like she released the meanest fart ever. She's like, oh, yeah. Like, like that face was just so awkward for me. I was like, what the fuck is she looking like that for? So yeah, and then there was a little Andrade backstage segment with the Judgment Day. He walks up, and Damian, of course, is like, "The fuck are you doing here?"
Your dog's barking. At what? Okay, so pretty much Damian Priest and the Judgment Day try to kick him out. And then Rhea Ripley's like, hold on. He's cool.
You know, yeah, he's cool. I asked him to come by. And they talk about business. And you can see Damian's just kind of like on the edge, kind of like how he is with everything.
Yeah.
He thinks he's this big tough guy, like, and he's not. But yeah, so after that, you know, we got that backstage segment with the Judgment Day being pissed off about Awesome Truth's idea for WrestleMania, and you know they had told Miz and Truth to take the night off to go somewhere, and of course R-Truth is like, "Oh, what's up, dog? Like, I'm here." And then Adam Pearce is like, I told you not to be here. I had you go to this. He's like, yeah, you said Monday. Adam's like, it is Monday.
Yo, R-Truth is a goat.
Oh, he absolutely is. So then we get a R-Truth and Damian Priest match, and Damian Priest attacks him before the bell even rings. Kind of a back and forth match. R-Truth looked kind of okay. You know, hit some nice moves, but Damian ends up winning that.
Yeah.
And then we get the Jey Uso segment, and he finally calls out Jimmy for WrestleMania. You know, brother versus brother, twin versus twin, blood versus blood. And tells Jimmy to accept that challenge so he can knock the yeet out of him. And then right after that, there's another backstage segment. Becky challenging Nia to a last women's standing match next week on Raw. So I guess we'll find out if that's a thing.
Oh, it is. They confirmed it.
Oh, was that confirmed? Okay.
Yeah.
So then the last hour of Raw or so is the Intercontinental Championship #1 contenders gauntlet match.
Gable should have won.
I think anybody but the two that were at the end should have. Well, not anybody. If I had to pick a winner, I probably would have said like Bronson Reed.
Chad Gable deserves it though.
He's had his opportunity. Why would I want to see
Not
something
at WrestleMania though?
I've seen it. We've seen it already. We've seen it on Raw. Why would I want something that I've seen on Raw at WrestleMania? And that was the exact thing I said to you that night.
I mean...
Like, I've seen it on Raw. Why would I want it at WrestleMania?
Because it was a good match.
Yeah, but...
And under the bright lights of WrestleMania, it'll be even
Gunther's
better.
already beaten. Gunther's already beaten.
Twice.
And you act like Sammy's going to beat Gunther. He won't. Sammy's going to get slapped around.
You want to bet?
I would absolutely like bet my life savings that Gunther walks out of WrestleMania the champion.
Nah.
Okay. So, Ricochet and McDonough are the ones that start off. Ricochet ends up getting the first pinfall, eliminating McDonough. Bronson Reed then comes out and eliminates Ricochet. So then it is Sami Zayn and Bronson Reed. They fight for a while, but then Sami gets a lucky pin on Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed continues to attack Sami. Now, Sami was practicing Ramadan, so he doesn't eat all day. Like, they can't eat from sunrise to sundown or something like that.
That's insane.
And they had said all he has had was water. So Zayn had not eaten. But then Bronson Reed continues to attack him, and Shinsuke's coming out and just kind of watching this. But Shinsuke finally comes into the ring, starts fighting. It wasn't long for Nakamura. He comes in, tries to hit him with his finisher, misses. Zayn, there's a little bit of a fight outside, but then Zayn ends up getting the pinfall over Shinsuke, which then leads to Chad Gable coming out. So it's Chad Gable and Sami Zayn to end it off.
Chad Gable should have won.
Gable depended too much on the ankle lock. That took up half their match. You knew Sami wasn't going to tap to it because you just knew this match wasn't going to end in, Gable getting a submission. I don't know why, but it felt like that wasn't going to happen. There was going to be a pinfall. Now Gable looked good, but I'm over Chad Gable. I wasn't really feeling Sami Zayn either because I didn't feel like he had a chance. But yeah, Gable just depended too much on the ankle lock. And it's what he was obsessed with doing. And then there was one point he had Zayn in the ankle lock. He's like, tap. I need this more than you. I want this more than you. I need this, this, and that. It's like, great. It's the same thing we've heard over and over again. Like, I need this. Like, you're pretty much, you've put the Drew McIntyre storyline on a mid card title now. How he needs this, and he has to do this, has to have this. But Zayn manages to break out of the ankle lock like 6 times, lands the haluva kick, kind of goes back and forth pin-wise. Gable locks in another ankle lock, and then Zayn is actually able to reverse the ankle lock into a pinfall, which got the 1-2-3. Gable being eliminated, Sami Zayn winning.
I thought Gable was going to turn.
Yeah, I think a lot of people did.
It looked like he was about to.
But he did not. And then there was even he kind of praised him afterwards, and he was like, just a show of sportsmanship. And then Gunther had come out. And then Raw ended. I was like, really? You ended there? But that was that. There was a video that came out afterwards. I don't know if it must have been like a digital exclusive or something, but Gable was like, that was it. Like, that was my shot. I'm not going to come out there and say, give me one last chance, give me a rematch, this or that. He's like, I'm not that kind of guy. Like, this was my chance, and I blew it.
Rip.
And that was Raw for you.
And then yesterday, in the morning, we had the Impulsive podcast, and Logan Paul announced...
What happened?
Logan Paul announced that SummerSlam will be held at the Cleveland Browns Stadium.
Cleveland. Yeah, that's pretty fucking cool.
So SummerSlam will be at the Cleveland Browns Stadium.
That's cool. That's sick. I didn't know he announced that. I remember seeing that he had the announcment, but I didn't know that's what he was announcing.
Yep. That's what he
cool.
announced on Impulsive.
I know he said he's like inviting all the like celebrities and stuff from Cleveland to be there. I think he said like, yeah, Dave Chappelle is gonna be there. He named some other big names. He's like, and then I want to like, obviously, I think he said he like wanted to fight someone that's from the area or whatever, like a wrestler that's. But he wants it to be like, I remember him saying he wanted to have like MGK there. He wanted to have just big names from Cleveland and all that. And he wanted to make it like one of the best SummerSlams ever. I do remember seeing those quotes.
Miz? Logan? SummerSlam?
Miz Logan for the U.S. title?
Miz U.S. title reign?
Even though the U.S. title is the SmackDown title?
He can move.
But what if he's a tag champion with R-Truth?
True.
On Raw? Yeah. So.
Shit.
So, Well, they could still lose the tag titles. I mean, there's what, like 4 months between?
We are 100% getting new tag champions, though.
Oh, 100%.
There's no shot Judgment Day walks out as champions.
Yeah, no, the Judgment Day is over. And I think they're going to use... Like, I know they've hinted at the implosion of the Judgment Day. I really do think that, we're going to see that at WrestleMania, because I think the Judgment Day is going to lose their tag titles. Rhea, I don't know. I think she should beat Becky, in my opinion.
For sure.
Because I think Becky's had her chance. She's had her glory. She's had the lights on her. Like, don't think she needs it.
Oh, how I hope to God Cody Rhodes finishes his story and Damian Priest cashes in and takes it away.
That would be hilarious. That would be the funny.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be just like his dad. When
Great.
They ripped the title right out of his dad's hands. They'll rip the title right out of his, too. Be like, ha ha!
That would be great.
It'd be pretty funny.
That would make my night.
Do you think they do another cash-in at WrestleMania? Like, I feel like it happening
when
at
else,
one time.
When else will it happen?
I
He
don't know.
needs to do it very soon.
That's another thing. Like, I think Triple H has kind of fucked up the booking of the Money in the Bank contract.
Because Money in the Bank is in July.
At least for the men's, because, like, Io cashing it in, she nailed it.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's like, you just have Damien holding on to this Money in the Bank briefcase. But for what?
I don't know, man.
I also don't think anybody thinks he's world title material. So.
I just really hope that happens. That would be great.
I think
that would make my night.
Way would be insane. Or what if Roman wins? They try to have him cash in, but he just gets his ass kicked.
No, I really want Cody to get it taken.
That'd be hilarious.
That would be so good. All the Cody crybabies would be like, yes! Yes! And then fucking Damian Priest comes out of nowhere and he takes it from him. Yo, that would be fucking great. That would be amazing. That would be amazing.
Yeah. I would say so. I'm interested to see kind of what Andrade's role is, you know, with the whole, I feel like him and Rhea, I mean, obviously Dom's going to be involved, or like him, Rhea, and Dom going to be a thing after Judgment Day implodes, because like Judgment Day's already got like 5 people. Are you really going to add another one?
I mean, they could.
At that point, you're more than a faction. You're a whole fucking squad. So, I don't know. I can't really see them going up to 6 people.
Yeah, I don't see that either. I think Andrade might be acting.
What do you mean?
Like he wants to be friendly with Dom. And then he's just gonna fucking slap him up.
Maybe.
Because he was boys with Ray, wasn't he? Andrade in his first run.
I don't remember. I'll be honest. I don't remember much from Andrade in his first WWE run.
Yo, when he came back, I was so hyped.
I know you were. You were the only one that knew who it was too. I was like, you like flipped the lid. I'm like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's gonna do it for us. Kind of talked about, you know, the weekly stuff. Don't have a PLE this month, so not much to really talk about there. Covered SmackDown, covered Raw, talked about some other things that we gave our opinions on. If you guys continuously watching and still tuned in, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you're not. A large portion of you guys watching are not subscribed, so please hit that button. Drop a like, comment your thoughts on everything we talked about. Share this with your friends if you know people that are wrestling fans as well. We are available on other social media platforms that we're still really trying to get going on. We don't post enough, so that's probably why. But we are also available on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. We're active the most on Twitter, I would say.
For sure.
But we definitely need to get going on Instagram and TikTok. But do go follow us over there. Again, obviously, we're available on YouTube. But if you do like to just listen to the audio and you don't want to look at our 2 ugly faces, we are available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. I just need to make sure that this man actually posts the episodes because he slacks on that sometimes. But
yes, I do.
Other than that, our link tree is available on like all our platforms, so just click on that, hit follow on go to all the platforms. We're available on all of them. Hit the follow. All the support would be much appreciated, and we will see you guys in episode 10.
Peace.
See you later.